I'm Gorham of Gorhamworks. Welcome. This is not my 1969 C10 Longbed step side with a 700 horsepower big block 540 in it. Something a little bit different. We just added this to the Gorhamworks fleet. You'll want to stick around to the end of the episode and I'll tell you all about it. You'll also want to stick around for the other car that's in the Gorhamworks fleet. And I'll give you an update on how 2023 has ended up. Then we're also going to have Troy give me a review of the C10 and how the 540 is getting on and how it's breaking in and what his thoughts are after driving it. Should be really exciting. Anyway, I'm going to get back to driving. I'm going to drop you guys into the episode. Pay attention to this cold start. The truck's about to tell me it needs something. The truck needs a different power valve, and we need to change the jets out so it's a little closer to being not so rich. So let's get this thing over, the carb off the truck, get it over on the workbench, swap out the power valve, and start changing the jets out. I'm also working on an alternator bracket so the alternator isn't dancing around and we throw a belt. This will also allow us to rev the motor without fear of slinging that belt and destroying something. And I know a guy that can help me rev this thing up. Let's go see if this jet changes and alternator bracket work. If you haven't seen the alternator bracket, I'll give you a quick peek. We haven't made it pretty, but we made it functional. Let's go make sure it works. It's healthy, by the way.
That's
when I say healthy, I mean very. And it's
nice.
It's running rich. I need to rejet it, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I needed to drive it and see what it does when it's warm and loaded versus just winging jets at it.
It is a very mean camshaft. Very mean idle.
You'll know when it's in gear.
There it is.
I say just be gentle with it, but you'll know.
There's just my foot sitting on the gas pedal.
Yeah.
That's not me doing anything. It just goes.
It has self-cruise control.
Nice.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever built. Let me tell you about the zero regret about it. And it's very drivable.
Wow. Wow.
The wheel's not straight.
No, the wheels are not straight.
No, that wheel's
This
not
one, yeah,
straight.
that's what I'm saying.
Those are fine out there.
Yeah.
That one's the problem.
That's fixable.
Yeah. But that means go outside.
Yeah. Dude, she's smooth. I dig it.
Way less intimidating than everybody thought it was.
Yeah.
Until you take it out of third gear and put it in first and second. And
you hammer down.
And then I haven't tried it hard, but it's enough to know that okay, when things get a little, I trust it a lot more. We'll play with it more.
Okay.
Like I don't trust it yet, but it's doing good.
Wow, man. This thing's more drivable than my truck.
It rides real good with the exhaust on it. That
Great.
extra weight.
Yeah.
It does not behave like the 396.
Well, I remember the 396 pretty damn well all through high school, and then after this, and then we got ready to pull it out. And she was tired. She was pretty what, like almost 300,000 miles on it.
290, whatever the thing says over there.
Yeah. And away we go. You want to give us some business? Shall I?
I'd go to second gear if you want to. And we're rich as can be.
I was gonna say she's still a bit sluggish on the fat, but once it starts to roll into it, you just feel your head go. I like it. That's nice. Wow, man, this thing is smooth. It runs well.
It's quite pleasant.
Yeah, it's actually not. It's not ungodly. The exhaust sounds so good on it. By the way,
Dude,
he did such a good job. Nick was like, "I got it. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure it's clean. You want those mufflers? We'll make it right."
he did such a good job.
And you can do the power tour in this thing.
We put AC in this thing for the summer.
Just
I'm still gonna have the windows
cruise
down.
it. Yeah, this thing is sweet.
And it's not dialed.
Yeah,
Even
it's still
remotely.
you're still getting some heat into the engine and stuff before you can actually get everything set up exactly the way you want it. Wow.
What's it like to drive 700 horsepower naturally aspirated?
You know, I've driven 700 horsepower cars that were way more unwieldy than this. But when you put 700 horsepower behind a truck that's meant to use 700 and something horsepower, it works flawlessly. And it's not
unwieldy.
it's not unruly. It just does what it needs to do.
And make no mistake, I absolutely respect the hell out of it.
Oh yeah, it can get away from you quick, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, realistically, man, I'm not.
It's not terrifying to get in.
No.
Like, I've gotten in Mustangs with 500 horsepower and been like, this thing's trying to kill me every time you touch it.
This is going to sound stupid, but 350Zs, 370Zs, Corvettes, you give them a little bit of power, and the way the car is designed, they're all over the place. This trucks, long wheelbase trucks specifically, I have never had an uncomfortable experience with horsepower. They're always pretty tame to the point of I'm comfortable being able to wrangle in whatever it's got. Let's just see here.
Like, Nick's exhaust made this thing.
I like everything about this right now.
What do you think of the air-cooled mid-engine Porsche from 1973? Now, this car was a collaboration between Volkswagen and Porsche. And what they ended up with was a mid-engine, lightweight, air-cooled, handling beast. This car was very light. I'll put the actual weight and specs in it in the video. It's actually really roomy because there's no motor out here. That's a trunk. And me at 6'2", I can climb in and out of this thing with no problem. The cabin is very roomy. It's very driver-centric. You can see it in the gauge cluster. It's laid out to prioritize driving the car, not luxury and things. It has another trunk in the back that's so big that the entire roof can fit inside it. So if you take the target top off, you have a place to store it, and it's not just sitting in the corner of your garage. And even with the top on, this car is really great to drive in. There's plenty of headroom, but I have the top off because that is the preference with this machine. But man, it's got pop-up headlights. And who doesn't like pop-up headlights? And they work. And when I say mid-engine, I literally mean mid-engine. It is before the rear axle, so all the weight distribution of this car is absolutely amazing. This is a real dedicated lightweight sports car that's made to handle, and man, can it tear up some corners. You can go into any corner and pick where you want your exit line to be, and this thing will do it, even without power steering and without power brakes. This is a driver's car, and it's a great driver's car. It's under 3,000 pounds, it has four-wheel disc brakes, it's mid-engined. And something cool about this mid-engine, this is fuel injected. It's factory fuel injected from 1973. It's all analog, but it all works. It has some really robust parts in it that have made it last 50-something years, and it's still a joy to drive. And it gets like 50 miles to the gallon, upper 40 miles to the gallon, even when you're between 4,000 and 6,000 RPM in second and third gear tearing up corners on 2 lanes in this thing. And because it's not super fast, you get a lot of enjoyment interacting and engaging with this car. I can't tell you how fun this car is to drive. If you ever get an opportunity to drive one, do it. You won't regret it. You might have a little learning curve on the transmission, but once you get that dialed. But yeah, let me show you the newest addition to the fleet. We'll get it into the garage, and it's a driver's car too. And it's a collaboration car. And we'll talk more about that when we get it in. You guys ready for this? It's gonna be good. We bought another collaboration car, and this one's controversial. BMW and Toyota. This is a 2024 Toyota GR Supra. And can I just tell you from the onset, I'm a little biased. So biased, in fact. This is our car. This is mine and my wife's car. We love this car already, and we haven't even put hardly any miles on it. We've just got it home. We're working on getting some of the pieces and parts so we can drive a little bit more. We need some rock guards because it's got some pretty sticky tires. We need to put some coating on the paint to make sure that it's good and protected because we plan on keeping this car for a very long time. we love this car that much already. And I'm so stoked to share this with you guys. Now, I'm gonna get out and walk around and talk about this car. If you can't tell, this is a 2024 Toyota GR Supra, manual, and boy, it's a machine. It's a collaboration car between Toyota and BMW, so the ultimate driving machine and let's go places. Two very, very, very passionate companies about building great automobiles. This is a work of art. I would love to tell the Toyota and the BMW team that worked together to create this, good job. Like, I know you guys will never see this. I'm not big enough for anyone to know me, but good job. Because like, for the amount of passion, like I've only put 100 and something miles on this car. And I can tell you this chassis, I'm in love with it. The first time I got to drive a Toyota Supra, it was an automatic. And when me and my wife were test driving to make sure that we fit in this thing, because I'm 6'2", she's about 6 foot tall, you know, we fell in love with the car. Like, we drove the automatic. It made us feel like kids that stole sprinkles. You know, it banged, it popped, it had lots of power. The inline six was really smooth. The cockpit was laid out to be a cockpit with a driver-centric feel. So a car that we were already instantly drawn to for our preferences based on the 914 and the old truck, where you have to be engaged to want to drive these. This is not a car that you can get in and just play on your phone and go red light to red light. No, this car wants your attention and you deserve your attention. And when you drive it with any amount of passion, this thing is such a great machine. You want to put miles on it. You want to see what it can do. And there's no way you could get the full potential of this out on the street, or you shouldn't be. This is definitely something you need to take to the track and find out what it can and can't do. And I absolutely intend on doing that. We will be wearing helmets and we will find out what this thing can and can't do, because it is an amazing machine. And I would argue for under $75,000, you will not find a more capable, comfortable, good-looking machine than this thing. And I am so stoked to have one. I'm absolutely humbled we have one. I want to wish everyone a happy and safe 2024, and thank you for watching. If you guys are enjoying this and you're looking forward to seeing these machines go out and go on adventures, hit that subscribe button, because we got a lot to do. I'm incredibly humbled that we are over 200 subscribers now. I hope you guys are enjoying watching me bust my butt to build and work on these crazy machines. I'm having a blast. This year in 2023, we took out the old 396, we put in a 540. That is now a 700 horsepower 69 C10, and it's a riot. This 2024 GR Toyota Supra, just getting to know it, already in love with it. And this thing, what an elegant lady this car is. Love this thing. 1973 914. Guys, have a wonderful and safe and happy new year. This is Gorham of Gorham Works. I'm out. Thank y'all.